even when it was sealed up, declared in 1826. The very year that, by the way, Freemasonry lost most of its adherents over the murder of Captain Morgan, but that's another thing. 1826, signed off, Popery dead as the Holy Roman Empire. Dead. Completely dead. Really? Really? It didn't. It still lives. And its dictates still live on. And it dictates to this world. So you think that because a few bent politicians, indeed Parliament, says we're out of the EU, then you'd better rethink yourself. You better educate yourself. You better get right before the Lord, if anything. If you're believing lying toads, Parliament, it's the fundamental... Listen. If you're behind a pulpit, the fundamental principle you should be screaming from the pulpit is that Parliament and governments are a bunch of deceivers, and they cannot help but deceive. They make a lie, they tell a lie, they live a lie. They are habitual. Anything that they say is a lie, and it's an attractive lie that we are generally in the old nature drawn into believing. But we must resist it. And the antidote, the medicine, is the fact that our understanding tells us that these are blackguards. You wouldn't give them a broom. They'd have to take a think tank in order to work out which part of the broom you sweep with. And they still wouldn't be able to come up with it. This world is fallen. It's crooked. How many times must the scriptures God declare this world is crooked? Don't trust this world. Don't trust the pronouncements of governments. Ministers should be screaming this. Hey, yes, you're not out of the EU. And if you are following that in your hearts on that, you all need to be examining yourself to see if you be in the faith. Because if you're married to Christ, you can't be married to this world. If you're married to this world, you can't be married to Christ. They that love this world are the enemies of God. If you love this world, if you're following these blackguards and the rest of it, you need to examine yourself. How did you come in to a profession of faith? How did this woman here dare to declare herself Christian when she's got nothing of Christianity about her? Neither is Romanism. How dare you? How dare you do that? Aye. I tell you what, I was in a court once, and the judge deliberately spake that was wrong. I stood up and said, how dare you? How dare you do that? And it's about time we got men and women of backbone, of moral spine, to stand up to these people. And as subtle as they are. We are Christians. Let's get this straight. We are Christians. We were Christians before this world began. We were Christians in the Lamb's Book of Life. And what are we doing in this life? What are we doing? Are we following these buggers? Are we following governments? Are we following this trend and that trend and every other trend? We are the children of God. Let us live like the children of God. Finally, where is your emphasis? Where is my emphasis? Is it upon me? Never. Never. It's upon God. That's where the emphasis is. And God dictates, and rightly so, morals and ethics and to live by them. Are you looking at yourself to be impressed upon others? Have you got a church? Have you got a pulpit which you want people to be impressed about? Do you have the highest seats in the meetings that you form? You'd better ask yourself, are you a Christian? Because what you're showing is not Christianity. And the older you get, the more diffident you get, not the more arrogant. The arrogant ones are the ones that are not on the rock, Christ Jesus. You have not been equally chastised by God. You've been left. You're bastards. On the broad road of a profession of faith, you're just bastards. You're not one of us. The older you get, the more that you see yourself as being beyond words unprofitable. And the word unprofitable, as we say, is not sufficient. But if you're going the other way, arrogant, and everybody must follow me, you follow me, you're not following me, what are you doing? You're doing what the Mary Morse Baker Eddies have done. Charles Taze Russells of Jehovah's Witnesses, what the Pope says, what the priests are saying, what Arminianism say, all these occults, okay, are saying, all these demonic religions are saying, putting themselves forward, and not one blasted one of them is saying how to live by morals and ethics, not encouraging morals and ethics in society. And a society that has no morals and ethics is collapsed. Righteousness upholdeth a nation. Sin is the very destruction of a nation. Our pulpits and our street so-called preachers are not preaching righteousness. They are not preaching the law of God, of morals and ethics and what is demanded of us. Thou shalt tell the truth. Thou shalt live the truth. Thou shalt be honest. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt honour thy father and thy mother. This needs to be preached once more. The law needs to be brought back in. It needs to be found and brought back in. And you know when it was with Israel of old, when it was found and brought back in, prosperity began. Oh yes, judgment for the sins that had been committed, but ultimately prosperity. Because you can't for one moment, let me say this, you can't for one moment think, oh yes, I can go back to Christianity here, I can go back to morals and ethics, which is Christianity, as the heart. It's the heart of Christianity. And not and get away from the punishment that is owed to me for the life that I've just led. No, you won't make it. No. You will still be punished for that. And corrected. You will be punished and corrected. And then you will be corrected in the way, if you're a Christian, you've gone off the rails. Okay? You'll get punished. You think to get back on the rails by taking up upon Scripture and professing to be a Christian and all the rest of it, you will be punished in the midst. Don't think you're going to get away with it. You'll get punished. But it'll be a punishment by a father. And it will secure you on the way that you've just chosen again as a living soul, which is attached to heaven. That choice, because you're a living soul, it's not like Arminians' choice. They can only make a choice of their Socinian Jesus. But if we go off the rails, we can make a choice to come back on the rails, but that choice, in any event, will be of God. He'll put the circumstances in place to have us do it. And he'll have us on that day to do it. And then he'll punish us. Punish us. Anyhow, that's life. That is life. Okay? We should learn to grow in grace and knowledge of the Lord by bit by bit by bit, attending the school of God. With tutors and governors over us. And we, of course, should, at the end of the day, take the role of tutors and governors. Simple as that. We should grow. Learn our lessons. Learn our lessons. And when providences come and give you a whack around the head, okay, and it seems like one disaster after another disaster, and we need to bow before God and say, Thou givest, Lord, and Thou takest away. We need deliberately, purposely to acknowledge that it's God's hand in that circumstance. Don't resist, because resisting means more chastisement. It's to subdue us. It's to correct us. It is to make us more like Christ, who sits at the furnace as the refiner of fire. Right, refiner of silver, rather. Okay. Trials and tribulations come. The wood and the hay get burnt up. And we don't like it. But at the least, at the end of the day, when the wood and the hay and such like is burnt up, at least we're left with the jewels of truth and an enriched character. Oh yes, our characters are enriched by it. And we become different than the world. The world sees us. You see, there's the peculiar woman, there's the peculiar man, there's a peculiar person. They're not one with us. They're not following us. They're opposite to us. Their thinking is different. Wow. And you get people coming up to you and asking you questions because they can trust you for a reply. And an intelligent reply. And that they're not going to get a reply that they're going to get from anybody else. A stupid, unintelligent reply. Alright? I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, we're going to, by the grace of God, continue on with these teachings. Because quite frankly, basic teaching of basic things by a basic person who uses basic language is needful today. Very much needful. We are heading towards the end of all time. That is evident. We'll deal with that with another subject on that. Okay, but I'll leave you with this to think about. When all the secrets of things are revealed, it is for a reason, is it not? Things you see are hidden for a reason in the first place, to be revealed in the time, and once they've been revealed in the time, everything is known and everything for that period in time is finished. Like Christ came in the first advent, he will come again, of course, in the second advent with fire from out of God, taking vengeance upon those that know not God. Now, think of this. The book of the Revelation of Jesus Christ has been sealed, and yet open. It's always open, but it's so open that because of our dullness and carnal-mindedness and so forth, and so on and so forth, we've been unable to understand it. But who has come along and opened the book up? Come on. Because it's open. That is, in interpretation, it is open, it is known, it is understood. The book of the Revelation of Jesus Christ has been openly taught, verse for verse, theologically, historically, metaphorically. How has that come about? You tell me. Why has that come about? You tell me. is not that signifying that there's no more point in the book of the Revelation not being known. To have it opened because the day is not that far at hand. And it has been opened. It has been opened. And every jot and tittle has been dealt with. And we have reiterated this throughout our uploads. You can find it in every upload. In fact, I could give you one. Well, we have given one, haven't we? The tree of life. We dealt with that, didn't we? The tree of life, which is the bride of Christ, is standing between two banks, but one tree. Because the Church of Jesus Christ is between two banks. Let's come together as one at Calvary. The Old Testament is one bank, New Testament is the other, and right between them is the river of life, flowing from the throne of God and from the Lamb. And they all come together as one. You see? Let me just give you another. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. Now that's Jerusalem. Verse 4 of chapter 22. Because there's no curse in Jerusalem. Okay? Yeah, well, why not deal with it? Verse 3. And there shall be no more curse. There's no more curse to the children of Israel. There's no more curse with them. There's no more curse, therefore, with the Jerusalem that is above. That's which is being spoken of here. This is the Jerusalem that is above. There's no more curse to it. It was cursed by the fall. Okay, but justification has taken away the curse and the curse off the heads of the people. But the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it. You see, the Lamb is justification. That's the metaphor for justification. That's your doctrine. That's your theology. And the metaphor that we spoke of. But the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. We are the servants of God, and we serve him. It says here in future tense. Because it's going back. It's going back to Calvary. Okay? And they shall see his face, and we do. We now see Jesus high and lifted up. We see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. Eh? Oh, it's not a metal name, it's not a chip. Can you imagine, eh? Their name will be in their foreheads. Hello, it's Mr. N Prophet. Oh, hello there. How you doing? Oh, you've got this these chips, are you? You're going to resist it, are you? Oh, so the Antichrist is going to come along, is it? Oh, right, yeah. You're going to get a chip, are you? Okay. So, what about this chip? Is it a French fry? What is it? What's this chip? You've missed this chip out, haven't you? That the names shall be in their foreheads. So the NHS, for instance, is going to go round and put 666 or whatever into the heads of people. So they're going to be chipped. So equally, they're going to be in a secular, satanic world. The NHS and the government is going to give the children of God, me, and supposedly you, a chip with our Father's name in our foreheads. So, I'm going to bear, hang on a minute, okay, they see his face and his name shall be in their foreheads. So, whose face? Well, Jesus Christ's. And his name. So I'm going to have, and you're going to supposedly have, Jesus Christ across your forehead. Hey? And then I'm I'm going to smack the evil one, all right? This little child comes up to me and he's giving it the mouth. I'm going to slap him across the head. He's then going to have to go to the NHS and get that chip replaced because I've just damaged it. And there'll be millions and millions of chips. Come on now. Where's this chip in your teaching? Because this chip is not a chip. Their father's name shall be in their foreheads because we think of God. Forehead is where reason is, where intellect is. It's the foremost place. Okay, and if you contradict any of that, well, that's up to you. You must therefore go back to Cain, whom God put a mark upon Cain. Did he get a firebrand or something? Oh, shh, there you are, murderer. Eh? What was the mark? It's spiritual. And I'll tell you what the mark was. That he was marked out. Okay? As we are marked out for God, as the evil ones are marked out for the devil, Cain, that wicked one, if you'd have looked at his eyes, you'd have seen the pit of darkness. He went around and people looked at his eyes and, oh, that's the depths of evil. He's a murderer. If you've ever looked into the eyes of a murderer, you'll see there's no light. It's pure depth of darkness. And the eyes are the windows of the soul. That's what he saw. That's what people saw. And may we just say this. People are marked out as being idiots in this society. They're marked out. We see that person and we mark him as an idiot. Have we put a physical thing on him? No, we haven't. We